Hello, welcome to the Division 1 of the Hot Seat Revolt Racing League. We'll be taking it on here from the Revolt front end, which is basically our studio at this point.
That's right. Yeah, we basically own the entire franchise at this point. It seems like basically everyone got a buy except for Laggy Rock and Lopeska.
It's an 80
And we're headed
stadium,
to
a fairly
Aspen's
equal
side.
fight.
I thought Aspen's side was banned.
Yeah,
My
that's what I
apologies there.
saw as well. I guess
Okay.
we didn't read it correctly.
Huh.
Lopeska takes
Yeah.
the lead early on. The cars don't have that high speed. I don't think they'll be running into huge issues here yet, especially since the track is not that difficult compared to some others. But Lopeska is with the lead at the moment. Lager takes the inside line here as Lopeska runs by.
They really stay there. Lopeska taking it super wide, but then he gets the inside bounce on those U-turns and reclaims the lead, but he's taking it wide once again. Laggy Rock gonna steal it out from under him.
Remember, this is for best of 3. So whoever wins is 1 win away from winning the whole match.
Right. And
Not
both
yet.
the racers looking a bit shaky. Lopeska flips, and as long as he takes it like he has been in the previous 3 laps, it should be cut and dry finish for Laggy Rock. See if they yellow it. I think they should.
I mean, which cut? There's a lot of cuts on this track.
Right.
Turn one,
I'll explain
obviously.
the one.
They should
The
be
one
okay.
after the big drop. The one after the big
Oh.
drop in between the boxes. We'll see it.
It's hard to
shortly.
make. Adion is a thin car. Lager takes the early lead now, and Lopeska is following.
Pretty good recovery by Lopeska. It's going to come down to this shortcut. This is the IO version, I believe, but Laggy Rock bouncing on the entryway, and neither of them going for the shortcut.
And Lopeska is with the advantage now. He could be tying the standing. If Lager wins this race, Lager proceeds to, is that the quarterfinals?
Has been inching closer and closer towards Lopeska, and on those that chicane area is going to be getting even more of an advantage as they head to the Coca-Cola machine. Goodbye.
Lopeska's car has passed away, and in the final turn, which means Lager will now be advancing. So that's 2-0. And have music, and it's very loud. Apologies for that. It should be around the correct volume, and they are racing. G taking the early lead in turn 1. It's 4 meters between him and Lager, and I did not rejoin the lobby, so I think the points will be messed up. 14, 15 meters between them. They are both going fairly mistake-free, but G has the pace at the moment, and I think that's what's giving him this big advantage. But he will be heading into the final turns here to win the first race.
But we are going to be going to Botanical Garden. We'll see how that ban plays out for him.
There's definitely lag involved in some of those movements, and I'm not sure who is ahead on their screens. I think Lager is now taking the lead. Or is he? Because it definitely
I
seems
don't
like G
think
is
so.
being pushed here. He will be pushed to the outside though. So now Lager takes the lead.
But I'm not sure. Laggy Rock does bump just a bit on the ramp, and it's going to be costing him. G-Force holds on to the top speed, accelerates past him.
It looked like G was being able to go faster. I think I've heard players mention this, that the surface on this track is somewhat inconsistent. Possibly actually with an effect on the race. He's now right behind. That was gained in turn 1 and the up sections after that. And he's now on the back, but they are on the bridge. This is not very comfortable here. G again having to be forced to the outside. Lager winning this race would mean they're going 1-1 into the final race, which would be scores at 1, but Lager clips the bump, the ramp there.
I was wondering, it looked like if he was going to make a mistake in one spot, it was going to be that he bumped it on like lap 2 or 3. So the bans have come out. Botanical Garden and Schools Out 1 Reverse are the 2 bans. Nick banned Botanical, Lampert banned Schools Out.
I don't see anything like that in OBS. But they are racing in Hot Penny Racer Turbo now. Nick with a better start. They are on different cars this time. Not sure what car Lampard is using. Do you know that?
On the Ure V8. Yeah, interesting. The lines deviated at the very beginning. I don't know if you saw that, but Lampert went for a boost that Nick did not on the very first lap. We'll see if Lampert's going to fall in line with Nick's line or if he's going to go for it again. He does seem to think that it's better for him to take it.
I think he gained a bit. He goes really close to those walls, of course, because this is top tier racing here. And they both go for the boost. I think Arion gets boosted more. Possibly because of the weight, but it does seem like Nick has some advantage in that section. But Lampard here with the great turning, and now he's on Nick's back, heading into the final lap.
So it's quite evenly.
Yeah, Nick managed to pull away a bit again in this section. And Lampard almost heading into the outside, but heading a bit wide, hitting the wall on the landing. And this will give a bit of buffer to Nick, which should be enough to give him his first point. Which is half of what he needs to win the match.
Right.
But we are on the track, and Nick with a better start, of course. Arion has the acceleration. Lampard with decent turns there. Okay, it does seem like Lampard has the ability to turn quite well. And he actually gains a bit on Nick in those.
It's going to be very, very close behind Nick.
And in fact, he's gonna go around the outside, but he hits clips the space that was between the platforms there, and he flips, which is giving a huge advantage to Nick.
I've seen that some people repo slightly before hitting the teleporter. We may have to shelf that discussion for just a second, as Nick seems to have made a minor mistake on the ramp, maybe a bit of a ramp bug. But he seems to have recovered from it, but not at a huge detriment to his lead.
And yeah, here's where the repo comes in. I don't think Lampard hit it earlier, so it's a bit hard, but it's worth risking if you're like, I don't know, 2 meters behind in a last lap in a rubber match.
And we'll see if they prepared it. I'd assume that it's a specific part on the track that you have to pass, and then you immediately repo. So we'll see if they know that.
Out of the two of them, I think Nick would know it, but Lampard gets a lot closer there. Yeah, I think I see Nick's car repositioning earlier. It's the final turn. Lampard's gonna go for a bit of a dive bomb. He's not gonna hit Nick, but he's gonna get screwed on the ramp. He's gonna bounce away. Nick will finish. We will be going soon. Wait, which track goes out one reversed? So yeah, it's that hasn't been raced yet. And
I always get the schools out mixed up. This is going to be the shorter one.
Yeah, Sting with the early lead. Again, an Adion versus Ure.
Yeah.
Sting with the acceleration, having a better start.
Adion has higher top speed by about 0.5 kilometers.
So I think the one place where Erzo can gain is certain kinds of turns where you don't have to slow down. Because acceleration again gains for Adion, but faster turns might be done better by Ure. Erzo going for a bigger cut here, but he's not gonna gain much.
He is a
it's more similar to the Hummer, I think, because it's a bit wilder car. Erzo gets a bit closer here, but it's the final few turns, and I think Sting has been fairly consistent here. Erzo, can he go for a dive bomb? He's gonna try it, but he's not gonna. It's not gonna work.
Respect for trying it. You gotta pull out all the tricks. Has no qualms about racing any car. He'll race one that people don't expect. As long as he thinks it's the best, and he does get the inside turn, and the very first turn of Botanical Garden, putting him 4 meters advantage over Sting right away.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure if Erzo just races the best car, or he goes for custom cars more likely at this point. And he gained a few meters in that lap.
Right. Well, R2 looked like at the turn right before the bridge, he lost a bit of stability, and that was the window that Sting needed to get very, very close behind him. And this is Botanical Garden, so we got 5 laps. The same spot that R2 lost a little bit of stability, a bit before.
I think Sting is faster in that section regardless. The U-turn, Erzo going very tight. Sting doesn't have space, but it does seem like he's going for an overtake. Erzo with the block. And he maintains the lead. Neither of them run personal best laps. I think Sting ran quite a good lap in lap 2, which is why he was able to close up. And it's not, his car is a bit faster, it seems, but Erzo is defending heroically in lap 4 out of 5 here. Sting clipping the same way Lager did, and now Erzu has an almost 30-meter lead.
So 30-meter gain or lead for Artsu as in the final lap. And
Sting basically gave up by now. Erzu from Finland, Sting from Sweden, who will be advancing to the semifinals.
Yep.
I think whoever advances will be fighting G, so will be hard. And Sting is with the early lead. And Erzu is gaining a lot here. He has great lines, but he gets forced to the left of the boost here by Sting.
He missed it. Yeah.
He couldn't get speed. Yeah, but Erzu is decent in some of these fast turns, I think. But you don't have to slow down too much. Like this one, and he went really tight. He's able to go fairly tight there. Then on the acceleration, Sting had a way better exit. Okay. Now we are in the final lap. And Sting is leading. Erzu very close. Whoever wins this advances to the semi-final. So this is an important match. This is an important race even, because it is match point for both of them. They are tied 1-1. Erzu is gaining again in this section, but he's gonna have a better exit. Sting is gonna have a better exit. And he's gonna have a bit of a gap. So unless he messes it up, it will be Erzu with the mistake. So Sting will be able to go through to the finish line and get that victory. No, never mind. Wurzel and Frost. Never mind. I was wrong. Sting won't be fighting G-Force. Nick will be fighting G-Force. And Sting will be fighting whoever event is from Frost and Wurzel. So
that
I think if we put up a prediction, I think it will be one-sided.
So yeah, Wurzel and Frost. Frost bans Museum 2. Wurzel bans Penny Racers. And so actually, Frostbitten banned the wrong track. Museum 2 isn't in the track list.
Most predictions are for Frost, as far as I can tell.
We'll see. Frost getting the inside in the first turn.
And a better acceleration on that car, so he will be leading.
Actually, your AV8 has better acceleration. But it's like 0.1.
That's weird, because all the times Adion versus Yurei fought. I think we've seen Adion.
You're right.
I think we've seen Adion get a better start. And this track on Semi-Pro seems to have a huge dependency on speed. But Frost messes it up. You've mentioned it, and Wurzel takes the lead. He'll be now blocking a full lap where he has to block Frost with the faster car. He almost pushed him into the wall there. I think Frost had to back out of it. But Frost has the better top speed. And he'll be going for the move. I expect it to be in the U-turn. Or here, because Frost takes the lead already.
I mean, he just drives right through him. Pulls up on the side, and Wurzel with the block says, "See ya, punk." And he is going to be getting 12 meters off of that.
And now Wurzel is in the lead. There's half a lap to go. The start section is still left. Frost will be risking it. Most certain risking it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going for the stairs.
Nails it. Oh.
Nails it is a bit of an overstatement there. And Wurzel will be with the lead.
Okay.
But what happened there? What happened to Frost at the finish? I met him on Lepeska, who is in the chat.
Okay. Shout out, but Wurzel gets the inside corner that we talked about, but actually Frost gets the better of it. Oh my goodness, a very dirty beginning to this race, the head and head. But Wurzel going to go on the inside here to the bridge.
Yeah, so we've seen in the previous race, Wurzel Diamond Frost. I think Frost is now playing with all he has. He now really wants to win. He might have got pissed out of that. Oh, he has a weird landing. He manages to recover. Yeah, this is like in NASCAR. You gave me a push, I give you a push. And this is very much a part of the game. Frost with the bad turn there. He will be with the block, but Wurzel blocking back. There's push involved. They both crash a bit, but Frost with the bigger crash now. And Wurzel with the lead.
7 meters, 5 meters behind Wurzel at this point, and they've got 2 more laps.
Wurzel has a better best lap though, is the interesting part. And they both run their best laps in the previous one, but Wurzel now runs wide. And Frost is right on him. And we've seen how Sting was faster than the person he was fighting on the Adion. I think Adion has the capability to go faster. And Frost is now with the inside line. He's not gonna push Wurzel into the wall, but now he'll be able to go by.
Yeah, he's inside on the jump. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it through the final lap. He's definitely not going to get slain by the ramp. 100% would never happen. Definitely didn't happen. And this is going to be the end, at least for this track, because Wurzel won the first one. So Frost won Wurzel's track, Wurzel won Frost's track, and we will be headed to the decider, which I do believe is going to be Schools Out 1 Reverse. We're headed into Schools Out 1 Reverse. Wurzel gets the inside once again.
But now Frost will be taking the lead immediately. But now I say, but Edion has been shown to have a better start. Frost now will be on the defending side, and he has a better turn here. Wurzel does close up in some turns though. We'll see. And if Frost goes Shu, he will be fighting Sting. I think that could be an interesting fight, but Wurzel on a different card could also beat Sting, depending on the tracks. I think the card difference will be important still. Frost is still in the lead though.
Frost has not been as clean on these lines as I expected. Sometimes going a bit wide. We can see Wurzel sneaking in, creeping in. Almost, obviously not going to run into the printer, but he's getting a bit close to that printer, kind of on the outside. We'll see. Wurzel got one more lap left to do it. He's got a whole bunch of meters to close. And there are a couple of points where this could go awry for Frost, but I don't expect it to really happen. We're about to see one of those points. He can have a strange landing here.
It could be down to Frost mistake! Frost with a mistake! Wurzel with a 20-meter lead! No one expected Wurzel to go Shu. I mean, barely anyone did. But he's now heading into the final turns. Can he cross the line in first? There's still a turn left. He could go very safe here. That's 50 meters. Wow. He wins. Or 2% of the points were on Wurzel.
So it's our two bands coming out. Toys in the Hood 1, banned out by GeForce. Museum 3, banned by Nick. GeForce is extremely well acquainted with Toy Soldiers. It was on the RVA, raced every single night on RVA for many a moon. And
they both flip! They both flip immediately!
It is Adion versus Adion. GeForce, whoa, showing some signs of rust on this track. Scared me just a bit.
Okay, that was really interesting, because they were very much in sync, and I wonder if G was looking at Nick's line, but oh no, he's falling even further back. Nick not making that mistake. Who can have the better consistency throughout all three tracks though? Is a good question. G having further difficulties on the bumpiness of the dirt.
Dude.
Nick now made that turn. G is able to do the same.
Okay, it's not done yet. But when these straights come out, and Nick hits air, he hits a piece of the wood. It's just a building. It's a non-moving, stationary building on the side of the track. Nick has made contact with it somehow, and GeForce jumps over his head and blocks him. It's hard to know for sure.
We've seen G make similar mistake before that, but Nick now with the bigger mistake. So G has a big advantage heading into the final part of the track. On the final lap.
Thinking about the headset. The pressure is on here. GeForce is more than likely going to be able to keep it steady on these final turns, and that's it. He wins track 1. So I expect to see some mastery. Definitely, both racers have absolutely done some long endurance racing on this track multiple times.
G having a horrible start, but Nick also bumping up there. And they're side by side. G will have the lead heading into the bridge. And this is one of the hardest sections, if not the hardest section of the track. And with some lag, it could turn into a nightmare. They are gonna survive that.
That higher top speed.
Yeah,
GeForce
possibly.
Running into the wall,
I wonder
and he runs into the window.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt him a lot. And also, because this is only 2 laps, the track is a bit longer. But we are halfway through. so Nick's lead is more important. Remember, he already had a lead on Toy Soldiers before the halfway point.
Nick goes hard, right? Like, he will get best, even if he doesn't win the event, he's going to be up there for best lap time on every track. But struggling to find the consistency in the high pressure environment, can't find it either though. Those are very frequently crashed on portions of the track, but not for these guys. Not for these guys. But they have right here, both in the Adion, not able to find that stability, and it's going to be Nick.
Market Mayhem!
Hey, yeah.
Not a very beloved track anymore, I'd say. Some people prefer the previous version actually, different race lines. But G taking the lead early on. And remember, this is a different race line now. They know the race line.
Do they though?
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet, and we've seen them make a lot of mistakes. Oh, Nick not having a good exit, having to dodge the pole. G is with an even bigger gap, I think now. Heading into the final lap, and Nick making another mistake. This might be the end for Nick's race. Oh, this is the semi-finals, so he still has the ability to fight for sure. Yeah, I'm not fully there today. G with the mistake, but it's not gonna be enough at the moment.
Hey, you're doing great for me, buddy. And yeah, I think this is going to be the end, at least like you mentioned, for the first place battle for Nick. It's going to be Sting and Wurzel. So, bands are coming out. Sting been performing very well against the competition, but Wurzel took out Frost headed in to this semi-final battle. So very interesting sucker though. So we'll see how that comes into play.
Yeah, also the bridge, as I mentioned, Yurei might be more stable, I'm not quite sure. Sting with the early lead, and he takes it into the U-turn. Wurzel is not gonna push him. It's the first lap, first turn of the first race. He's not gonna push him yet, but we've seen him push Frost. We've seen their body-to-body fights.
I would have gone for it.
Yeah, you have to be careful who you piss off in these races, because Sting might get, or maybe will get mad at you, and that could go horribly for you. Although Wurzel, I think, has the heavier car here, as we mentioned earlier. So Sting might have a hard time wrecking Wurzel, but Wurzel runs into the inside wall, so he won't even need that as we stand now. Yeah, but he is getting through, and I think he can go a bit safe, let go of the gas more, and he will be able to head into the final section. He's not gonna crash that wall either. Sting will be leading after the first race, unless he crashes here, but he's not gonna do that. Sting on the Adion, Wurzel on the Yurei. Wurzel with the inside line, may be able to take the lead. Sting is gonna get pushed. I don't think Wurzel intended to do that there. He just didn't have quite the space, and he was also having some, not necessarily oversteer, but a bit of a bounce on the car. And that's why he couldn't leave Sting's enough space, but now Wurzel with the crash. You basically jump a bit while turning. It's a really hard turn, and you have to optimize the airtime to not flip. And also your car slides, as Wurzel has demonstrated now. Oh, he almost wrecked Sting there.
Going for a head-on collision with Sting.
Yeah, it's for Sting X to lose here. And Sting is 90 meters ahead with the mistake, but fairly simple recovery. I think the Adion lets him finish up around fairly easily. He's not gonna be crushing Wurzel on that section. Wurzel got a bit closer. Sting with another mistake. I don't know what he's doing, but it's still 50 meters, and he's gonna be heading into the final turn to win the whole match.
Either Venice Reverse or Floating World.
We are on the track. Again, I have not loved the match. Sting versus Wurzel is not relevant here. So, Nick with the push on the left turn there, and taking the lead by like 10 meters. I think Nick knows this track well, which is why he possibly picked it, and he didn't ban it, although Wurzel didn't ban it either. So I'd assume that Wurzel knows the track too.
And Wurzel and that is a jump that I was concerned about. I thought the semi-pros had enough speed, and they do, but Nick seems to have maybe taken that jump a little bit incorrectly.
Yeah,
Flips
Nick
over, falls
did take
behind.
that not the best way. He didn't have the full speed or maybe the angle. But now he's taking back the lead in the final lap. And it's gonna be the first win out of possibly two for him if he can finish it off like that. But Wurzel is not far behind at the moment. We've seen that Nick messed up in this upcoming section. It was in the previous lap. Can he make the jump? He can this time. Is Wurzel gonna go for the dive bomb in the final turn? It's a U-turn, so Nick will have to slow down. But I think Wurzel is too far back, and Nick will be able to get away with that win. If they even get to that point. Wurzel did pick Venice, which suggests he prefers this one. Because he needs to pick something for in this case that he's good on. He needs this point desperately to at least delay it and maybe get a mental and psychological advantage. But now Nick is ahead again with the idiom. Wurzel did close up a bit there though. It's less than 10 meters now. How will they take this door turn? Wurzel again getting a bit closer. Heading into the final lap, almost having a flip. Wurzel gained 0.2 in that lap. I think that final almost flip was very hurtful for him. But again, he's gaining.
We are headed into the final turn, the doorway.
Wurzel is gonna go for it, but he's just gonna hit the wall instead of Nick. And Nick is gonna win this race and the fight. And we are soon gonna be headed into the final. But for now, Nick finishes third.
One ban each, so this is best of 5 for the finale. The stock tracks are coming out. The stock track bans by GeForce. He bans Supermarket 2. Christmas Special Stage is their second ban. We're not going to be seeing Christmas Special Stage today. The first pick is Floating World.
So Sting with the good acceleration, but that's only because G has a high ping. He's gonna be crossing lines. I mean Sting is trying to block G, and he's gonna be able to take back the lead here. Trying to block actually, but it goes horribly wrong for him.
Yeah, not good start for Sting. He does drop down. Ooh! And what execution that was. I had actually not seen that cut before. I thought he was trying to go down to a second or to a lower level. But no, he does bounce straight across the water. He almost looks like he's going for another skip through the water once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure G knows about the cut. Sting definitely knows about it, and we have already seen that Sting is also playing dirty here. Slowing down, trying to block G. And he's gonna get shoe. It looked to me like he would hit the pole. It's the final lap on the first race of the final. Remember, they need 3 points to win because this is best of 5.
Yes, and Sting seems to have a better mastery of the track, but he's just having some minute errors that are having massive consequences. Same spot each time, and he falls off the invisible track to add insult to injury. 50 meters behind GeForce, final turns, GeForce up 1-0. Barely dodge that fortification, but he runs into the drain pipe to start us off.
I think he got pushed by G into that actually.
So GeForce is really gonna have to lock it down. As we see the number approach that light green for StingX momentarily spins on the wall.
Yeah, and this will likely put GeForce at 2 points. Sting spin is the final nail in the coffin for this race. It's not the end of the match, but G will be 1 win away from winning the whole tournament or playoff.
If we want to see him pull it off here.
And he gets the lead early, so he'll now be able to defend. Will he not slow down this time? I think with G's lag, it's gonna be hard for him to actually block G and get an advantage of that. But it seems like Sting has some pace early on. And he has the lead, and G crashes.
Ooh.
So Sting will be able to pull away by 25 meters. Remember, we've seen Nick do that and then have a crash here. And the other hardest jump, that's not because of the landing, but you'll see Sting doing now, but G crashes. And now it's a 50-meter gap. So Sting will be heading into the final turn to make it 2-1.
Okay, I believe it's just in the cars, as obviously he's been racing on custom tracks, but he should be well acquainted with this track, but GeForce should too.
And yeah, G and Sting on the same card, so there's not gonna be any top speed advantages. G with the better start, Sting not being able to defeat his leg. But this is an important section of the track. This is not as straightforward as the normal version, and Sting knows it well. G does too though. G did do it a bit worse, but Sting couldn't get by. It was a bit tight section and G's Adium was in the way. Oh, and Sting clipped the landing.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this part of the track so badly. It is a blind jump for the most part, so you kind of have to know what you're angling for before you hit it.
And G is with the big lead. Remember, for him, this is for the win of today's whole 1v1 event. And he has 30 meters, he hits the ball on our screen. I wonder if that happened on his screen. It might be a bit of a desync, but it's 20 meters still, and Sting is not getting any closer at the moment. G, this is for the 1v1 event's victory. He's heading into the final turns, and he's gonna make it 3-1. Winning.
Congratulations.
And now we see it on the screen. So G wins the 1v1 again. Another event win by GeForce. He's going really strong in this league. He had a 14-point lead over Frost, and with Frost being eliminated in the quarterfinals against Wurzel with a regrettable card choice for him, he's gonna have a hard time to bounce back from here.